Hi guys. Well, it's March. I love March. I don't know why I love March. I guess I love March because I think it's when I first think it's gonna be spring. So I put on a spring shirt, even though it's snowing outside or snowed. Anyway, whatever. I can feel like it's spring if I want, right? I'm just here. I'm normally cooking right here, and I'm gonna do a cooking video. Yes, I am. But I just wanted to inspire somebody about something, hopefully, and that is if you want to make a change in your life, it doesn't matter what the change is, but if you notice that you can't make that first step or you can't get yourself ready to do it because you're not confident enough or you don't think it's going to work, or what if it doesn't work, then how am I going to feel? All of that stuff, that's all made up stuff, little stories that we tell ourselves in our head. I mean, it really is. And so maybe to explain that to you, I know a little bit about the brain. I've studied psychology, wanted to be a psychologist. That's a whole different story. But I know this. It's all the stuff from when we were growing up, from the time we were little and our brain was developing. It doesn't have to be big stuff, although for some of us, there's been really big traumas in our life. But to the brain trauma doesn't equal something really horrible or something really traumatic as we would describe it in words. For brain trauma, all it is these little deposits of things that have happened that the brain wasn't expecting. So when you're a little tiny kid and you spill the milk, that's a trauma, and probably why the old wisdom said, don't cry over spilled milk. Well, the kid cries, right? Because the brain is shocked by that. So anyway, to move on, it's little things that have added up in our life that when that happened, so pretend the glass hits the ground, boom, instantly cortisol is released in that little child's body, and the cortisol is saying, you gotta run, you gotta fight, or you gotta freeze. And their little brain is not developed enough to know, and pretty much they just start crying, and they usually freeze. Anyway, what happens when cortisol is released, every time you have a little trauma, it might not be as dramatic as what I just described, but every time the cortisol is released, it's trying to protect you because it's afraid. It's not afraid, but you know what I'm saying? It's afraid that you're being harmed. And it comes from way back in the caveman days, or whatever you want to call it, when animals, dinosaurs, whatever they were the only threat to man. And you either had to run like hell, flee, or you had to fight with rocks and big sticks or whatever, or you freeze so that maybe those big animals don't see you. Those are the only choices. Our brain still knows all about that. So every time you're ready to make a change, you're creating an expectation that the brain is surprised by. Now, let me just say this. The way you can still do it and still make a change, if you want to get healthy, or if you want to go get a better job, or if you want to stop yelling at your children, or you want to do whatever it is you want to do, but you're not doing it because you're not taking the first step, you have to feel, why is it so important that I want to do this? What is it? And when I say feel it, I mean talk to yourself privately or talk to other people, but feel, why do I want to do this? And what would it be like if I did it? And how would I feel? And feel that emotion. And then you need to proclaim it. You need to say it to yourself or others. Or you need to write it, the kinesthetic motion of writing it down. You know, back in the old days, and the teacher tried to change a habit, write it 25 times on a piece of paper until you learn it. Whatever it is that makes you start believing what you feel, you need to do it. And you need to continue to do it, and then hurry up and take the first step. Because once you can train that brain to just, I'm going to do this, I want this because of whatever it is, once you do that, take the first step. Because then the first step comes and you've done it. And the brain is no longer shocked by the expectation that you've created that you didn't do, which then becomes another trauma if you didn't do it. It's that easy. I know I kind of ramble on about stuff like this, but the brain is everything. And those old things that the brain stores and knows that we didn't even experience. It was our ancestors that were being chased by the saber-toothed tigers or whatever. But our body and our mind are really, really set up to take care of us if we just get out of their way. We just can't traumatize them constantly. We have to tell them, it, you. Tell yourself, I want to do this because of this. And then take the first step. That's it. That's what I've done. You know my story. I know you do. Okay, guys. Happy March. It's all good. See ya.